What's up, guys? We got another video featuring the 2024 Seadoo Spark. Today we're going to be putting adjustable handlebars on it, getting rid of the stock factory bars. So here we got the adjustable handlebar kit from my local dealership. It's the part that mounts down into my hull. Adjust the riser, maybe a top plate, and somehow connect it to the bars. I am not going to install these cover plates because my model is the new model and it's different. Obviously, that is not the same, so we'll see what the differences are between these 24s and the 23 models, but I'm confident we'll get it to fit. I guess we'll see what has to be done to make them work, so let's try it out. Alright guys, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to take the front cover off. In these newer models, you hold up, this is where your audio sits. Push up on the clip here. Well, it's supposed to be clipped in with these side clips and it hooks up in the front, but mine, as you can tell, is already a little worn out. So I don't know if that's a great addition for these Seadoos, but it is what it is. Then next we're going to have some T30 screws. We're going to take out 2 of them. And there's going to be 2 more screws up on the underside. 2 more T30s. You have to take out as well. So actually first we're going to take off the connected steering. You're going to need a 10mm wrench and a 10mm socket. Pull the side cover to expose the bolts up there. Next we're going to take our 10mm socket, take these 2 nuts loose, bolts loose. Then we're going to pull up on the cover for our handlebars. We got 2 8mm bolts to take our plastic off to expose our wires. Sometimes it's not a lot of clearance, you just gotta kind of make the clearance. Whoa. Here's loose. From the rest of our screws. There's 2 T30 screws up underneath. Take those out. Once you have the top 8mm and the bottom T30 out, these kind of slide back at you. It's kind of got a hook up in the front there, and so you hook it in there and you kind of slide it forward to lock it in. You can take these off, reveal all your wires and your handlebar. Alright, so next step would be to remove all these wiring pins. Lift up on them. These ones are going to come out with the hole buttons. PR, throttle, and trims, sport modes, and start stop buttons. Lift up, and the cords are going to go through the center of this. Through down here, and make sure that they're not in the way when we remove this handlebar. Okay guys, hopefully you can see I did cut 1 zip tie that was holding the wires to the steering post, so that way when I pull this up I shouldn't have to disconnect any of this wiring, because I want to keep the wiring for the new handlebars. So I'm going to plan on keeping the wiring in there, and then we will find the best way to route it once we get the handlebars in. Give it a gentle lift, and we'll give this thing a lift. And it'll pop right out. Make sure our wires go through here, don't get damaged. We'll pull this out. So this is the old one. We got this old one compared to this new one. Here, no, there you go, that's better. There's absolutely zero difference. We're gonna move the wires out and then we will put the new handlebars in. All right guys, so we got the 2024 start stop button and VTS mode. So when I went to go put the new one on, this did not transfer. It only comes with the old 2023 with the push stop button and the single VTS going straight up and down. So we need to customize it.
Give me the button
For this. So what we're going to do is we got Lewis over here dremeling. It's not a perfect fit, but
it's gonna get there.
We're gonna get there and then we'll clean up. I'll put some plastic in on the edges here. And we're gonna make this stock button work on this housing. All right guys, so we're gonna start building our handlebar here. I already put these on. These are the bottoms. There's holes, a spot for this to go. You just click it right in. And then same with this side. And then we're gonna grab some T30 screws it came with and install them. Okay. So once we got our bottoms screwed in, we're gonna flip it upside down. We're gonna start installing our IBR and throttle lever. So there's three 5.5 millimeter screws. Take the screws out, pull up the caps. Looks like we gotta transfer this little rubber. Transfer this to this one. Put the cap back on. Well, we'll wait on that actually. It looks like it's held in here by these little side clips. I'll set up the camera and I'll pull that out. You pull out on these and it'll release the sensor. We're gonna grab it and install it on the new one. So now we got that clipped in. The little insert on the knob piece. Grab this with our screw. Reinstall this. And reinstall the screws. Okay, we got the left side IBR installed. Now let's install the right side throttle. The same process. Take out the 5.5 3 screws. Pull the top. Set it to the side. We'll pull our insert. Put our insert down. Then we need to pry. Alright, so I used the flathead screwdriver. Just pushed it in between and pried. This goes in first. Snaps in. Once we have that in and our inserts in, we can reinstall this latch lever. Okay, we reinstalled this. Into the new handlebars, we'll put our 3 screws back in. This was not installed correctly. We will put the screw on and we'll tighten it up. And we will start putting the new one in the machine. So next thing I did was I slid the extending part into the base. So we're going to tighten these 6 screws and keep on going. Alright, so I got a plastic sleeve here. Just make sure you put it up, sits nice and flush. We are going to install the new one. Stick it in. Line up your bottom hole with your steering. Then we can reinstall the bolts and bolt it back down. This is our 2 10mm bolts. we have it installed, so we can go hook back up our steering on the inside. Bolt here, and then steering will be back together. And then just like that, we have working steering on our adjustable handlebars. So one thing I do want to mention is that I routed the wires through this hole right behind the screen here. Plenty of room for the stock harness to come and pull up for your handlebars. Do not need to buy an additional harness or anything. Just using the stock harness on my Spark. So now we're gonna put on our handlebars. Put our covers. So now we have somewhat of a looking like a handlebar again. And we're gonna wire our new wires in. And grab my 5.5, loosen up these. Take your flathead screwdriver, pry this clip in. We have our cover here. I want to see where the best spot to put the wires through are. So it looks like we are going to have to modify this housing. So with a little modification, I drilled a hole into the side here. Harness on the front of my handlebar. This one, secondary for your trim and your mode, button mode. Through the back there. Ran it above here, right next to the clip. Down the front. With this placement, I was able to get this new generation trim button into it, and the start stop here. Here's the little rubber cover, it's not staying on. All our electronics are in. We're ready to put on the cover. So now that we have the other side installed, we're gonna come over and install this side. I did make the same drill notch in this one as I did the other side. With me having this hole up here and nothing up here, so there's no way for me to run wiring through here, and the only spot is down in here. Wiring is tight. As you can see, there's not much wiggle room. Should be covered by the cover, I hope. And the cover on. This one fits really good too. Nothing wrong with it. We're gonna put in our 5.5 millimeter screws on the bottom to match the other side, just like that. Our plastic cover's on, wires all ran, throttle's all in place. Still open on the front here, but everything is working as should. All our buttons work, our adjustment works. And we're gonna put on this little cover. Just slides in, snaps down. T30 screw goes in the front of here and holds it all in place. 10 millimeter bolt, not a T30. And this little insert, the little insert goes in here. Slide the grip on, screw it down. The 10 millimeter through there. Got everything on the top side connected how we want it. Pay attention to the front here, reassembling this. And then we have two pieces. We have the spring, which sits in here. Works just like this. This spot for the to catch and spring out. But we got to put this one on top of it to hold it. Let's get that in. Tightening down the last of these screws here. The last step will be to put back on our cover. So they recommend it hooks from the bottom here, hook in the top, and push in your sides. Just like that, we have a 2024 Seadoo Spark. Now has adjustable handlebars. Steering doesn't hit. Stock wiring. Did not do any special wiring. Job well done. Another one completed in the books. It's time to clean up tools and wrap this one up.